It's 3 a.m., you're awake, and you're furious about it. You weren't planning this. You went to bed at a reasonable hour, like an adult, like a person with the morning. And now here you are, staring at a ceiling you can't even see, doing math on how many hours you have left if you fell asleep right now, which you won't because you're doing math. And somewhere in the back of your skull is the thought every single one of us has had at 3 a.m. Something is wrong with me. Normal people sleep through the night. I am broken. So here's the thing I need to tell you. You're not broken. You're just running really old software on a body that thinks it's still 1300. Because for almost the entire history of human beings on the planet, nobody slept the way you're trying to sleep right now. The 8 hours straight, one clean block, wake up refreshed thing you're failing at, that isn't the ancient natural human pattern your body forgot. It's the new thing. It's the weird thing. And the 3 a.m. wake up you've been treating like a malfunction might be the most natural thing your body does all night. Let me back up because this one genuinely rearranged how I think about my own bad nights. Most people assume sleep is sleep. You go down, you're out, you come back up. One long unconscious stretch, the way a phone charges overnight. And if you wake up in the middle, the battery's faulty. Take it in for service, get a pill. But that one block idea is shockingly recent. For thousands of years, across Europe and beyond, the normal way humans slept was in two pieces. Historians called it biphasic sleep. People at the time just called it first sleep and second sleep. Here's how it worked. The sun goes down. There's no Netflix, no lamp, no doom scrolling. There's just dark, and dark is genuinely all there is to do. So people went to bed early, not long after sunset. They slept their first sleep, a few solid hours, and then somewhere around midnight or 1 in the morning, they woke up on purpose. Everybody did. And this was not a problem to be solved. This was just part of the night. We know this because a historian named Robert E. Kirk went digging through hundreds of years of old documents, diaries, court records, medical books, prayers, novels, and kept tripping over the same two phrases. First sleep, second sleep, casually. The way you'd say morning and afternoon. Nobody bothered explaining what they meant because back then everybody already knew. It was just how the night was shaped. So the obvious question is, what on earth did people do in the middle of the night for an hour or two in the pitch dark with no electricity and no TV? And the honest answer is kind of everything. They prayed. There were actual prayers written specifically for the wakeful hour between sleeps. They got up and tended the fire. They sat and thought. Some of them wrote. Some of them quietly did chores in the dark like absolute lunatics. They talked to whoever they were sharing a bed with, which in a cold one-room house was usually several people and possibly a goat. And yeah, this was also a popular window for, let's say, making the next generation. A medical text from the period actually recommended it as the best time for it, on the grounds that everybody was well rested and in a good mood, which, fair. And here's the part I love most. Sometimes people just got up and visited the neighbors. At 1 in the morning, wandered over, no big deal. Try to picture doing that today. Picture rolling up to someone's house at 1 a.m., fully awake, like, hey, couldn't sleep, figured I'd swing by. You would not be welcomed. You would be a news story. So, that quiet hour in the middle of the night wasn't broken sleep. It had a name. It had prayers written for it. It had a whole little culture built around it. It was the calmest, most private slice of the entire day. The one stretch nobody needed anything from you because everyone else was awake in their own little pocket of dark too. And then we set it on fire. Well, we lit it up. Because here's where it all changes, and it changes fast. Artificial light. First, gas lamps, then the big one, the electric light bulb. Suddenly, the night wasn't over when the sun went down. You could push bedtime later and later and later. The evening stretched out and swallowed the early bedtime whole. And when you go to bed at 11 instead of 8, you don't have room for two sleeps anymore. You've got time for one. So the two sleeps got squeezed into a single block, and within a couple of generations, the world more or less forgot the old way existed at all. It happened so completely that we did something kind of wild with the leftover memory of it. That natural wake up in the middle of the night, the one your ancestors planned around, didn't actually go away. The instinct is still in there. So now, when you wake at 3 a.m., your body isn't glitching. It might be doing the single oldest thing it knows how to do, reaching for a second sleep that the modern schedule deleted. But you don't know that. Nobody told you. So instead of lying there calmly the way a person from 1400 would have, you panic. You check the clock. You do the math. You light up your brain with stress about being awake, which, of course, is the one thing guaranteed to keep you awake. And by morning, you've decided you have a disorder. And this is the turn that actually gets to me. We didn't just lose a sleep schedule. We took a completely natural human rhythm, a thing people prayed during, made babies during, found peace during, and we renamed it a medical problem. We called it insomnia. Middle of the night waking is one of the most common sleep complaints there is. Millions of people lie awake at 3 a.m. every night, convinced something's wrong with them, sometimes medicating it away, when a real chunk of them might just be doing exactly what the human body has done for thousands and thousands of years. They're not malfunctioning, they're remembering. Now, I want to be careful and honest here, because this is the internet and people run with things. This does not mean every sleepless night is some beautiful ancestral gift and you should cancel your doctor. Real sleep problems are real, and exhaustion is no joke. And if your nights are wrecking your days, that's worth taking seriously with an actual professional. That part, I mean. But there's a difference between a real medical issue and the ordinary, garden variety, 3 a.m. wake up that almost everyone gets sometimes. The kind where you're not even that tired. You're just awake and annoyed and certain it means something's wrong. That one. That's the one that might not be a problem at all. That might just be an old door in your body swinging open on schedule, the way it has for a very, very long time. And there's a strange comfort in that once it lands. Because the worst part of being awake at 3 a.m. was never really being awake. It was the fear, the certainty that you were the only one, that you were defective, that morning was going to be ruined and it was your fault. But if it isn't a malfunction, it's just an old rhythm your ancestors built their whole nights around. Then there's nothing to fight. You can just be awake for a bit, the way humans have been in the quiet dark for thousands of years. So here's the reframe I want to leave you with. We think of the night as one long thing we're supposed to sleep straight through, and waking up as failing at it. But that's not the deal humans actually had for most of our time here. For most of our story, the night had a seam in it, a built-in intermission, a quiet hour that belonged to nobody but you. We didn't lose that to evolution. We lost it to a light switch. We flipped one on, stretched our evenings out, paved right over the gap, and then started diagnosing each other for the faint memory of it that still flickers awake at 3 a.m. So the next time it happens, you blink awake in the dark, and the clock says some cursed single-digit hour, and that old panic starts to rise. Try this instead. Don't reach for the phone. Don't do the math. Just lie there, in the quiet, and let yourself be exactly as awake as a human is supposed to be in the middle of the night. Your ancestors weren't scared of this hour. They prayed in it. They loved in it. They thought their best thoughts in it for thousands of years. This wasn't the hour something was wrong. It was the most peaceful hour they had. Anyway, that's how ancient humans slept. Ever wonder about these things? Make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't yet. It helps me keep making these cool videos for you. See you in the next one.